Your people. Okay, so I want to talk about evolution. And evolution is God. Because a lot of people think that evolution and God don't go together when they do. So the reason why I'm thinking about this is because I come across this post yesterday of the Inuit people, or Eskimos, but they're Inuit people, and it's like they had these before sunglasses were invented, obviously way before sunglasses were invented, thousands of years ago, because they would be on the ice and the sun would glare off the ice and it would be blinding. They invented these glasses, early sunglasses, with made out of whale bones and antlers and stuff like that, with very, very thin slits in them, so that they would take away the sun glare and they could see and go about their life and whatever. And it's like I've seen this before, I knew about this, and then suddenly it dawned on me. I was like, so like maybe this is why people of that area have more slantier, closed, slittier eyes. And I don't mean that in a racial term, just can't think of a better way of describing it. And it's like, and it's like, yeah, this makes sense. And I Googled this and I can't see it anywhere. So I can't see anyone talking about it. Maybe, I'm sure someone else has thought about this, but I can't see anything online that's talking about this. And it just was an epiphany. And I was like, man, that's mad. Like, that explains it, because their eyes over time, squint into the glare of the sun, would have adapted to that, and would have adapted to that, because this would have been better suited. So their eyes, their muscles would have been doing that, squinting more. So over a period of time, we're talking of thousands of years, that's how evolution works. Their eyes would have adapted to it, because this is how evolution works. So this goes on to, like, this was reference to obviously Charles Darwin's natural selection. Now, Darwin's part of the system, and we didn't evolve from monkeys to man. There's a missing link, and for me that missing link is the Anunnaki, and this is the aliens. But that's another video. So it's like, but like, he's part of it. Darwin's part of it. But natural selection is still true, and this is natural selection. So these Inuits, this is natural selection. So I just was like, man, that's mad. Yeah, this is probably why their eyes adapted to that. So what is my point with this? Yeah, okay, so like, evolution is God. So a lot of people think that you either think evolution and science, or you think God and spirituality. But it's like, this evolution that's going on is God. This is the inner doing its work, in the creator within us doing its work over time. So these people, like Darwin's finches, where the finches with the bigger beaks on the finches with different beak sizes were in correlation to the size of the nuts on the island. In other words, the finches survived on the island with the bigger beaks. And if the finch had a smaller beak, it wouldn't survive on that island, because it was all reference to cracking open the nuts and thus survival. And the same with the moths that Darwin talked about in the Industrial Revolution, when the moths were white with black speckles, and when the Industrial Revolution came in, the trees turned black, and so the moths stood out more, and birds would pick them off easy. So the ones that had more darker speckles would survive. Thus, they adapted, and the ones survived over time would be the darker moths. So this is God in action. This is the creator of all things and how it works. So my point to all of this is in reference to what's going on at the moment. Is we're in an incredible time to be alive, and a crucial time in humanity, because it's the evolution of consciousness. And this is the awakening of humanity, and realizing on a spiritual level that there is something bigger, and there is a reason to work through this stuff, and there is something else going on. So like, we're at this tipping point where, you know, there is going to be, over the next few years, a lot of people will die. And that's mostly to do with they have no faith. Now, I'm not talking about like just this blind faith of like, you know, someone tells you so you believe it. It's like really, really going within yourself and feeling that intuition and feeling that inner light, that inner guide, and realizing that there is something bigger and connecting with that and seeing there's a reason for all of this going on. And this is the spiritual awakening. This is the evolution. This is God. And this is what people need to understand. It's like, you know, evolution is not separate to God. This is God created all things. And I use the term God, and a lot of people don't like that term, but I'm just like, whatever. The creator of all things, the intelligent mind, whatever it is. God is ultimately is love. All that exists is love and light. The rest is illusion. So God, the creator, is love. And, you know, like, it's something that we can't fathom. But we are also part of that. We are, you know, like specks of the infinite one creator. And we're all part of that. So we're all connected to it. And when you tune into a higher consciousness, you realize that. You become part of it. And then you become part of that understanding. And the people that are going to die out, like the white moths that didn't, it's not that they didn't adapt, but obviously the black moths were surviving because they were darker as the trees changed. It's like the people that are going to die out are going to be the white moths, you know, and it's not like, and people need to realize that you need to be aware, you need to be awakening, and you need to be adapting. And that's what survival is. Survival of the fittest doesn't mean the biggest and the toughest. It means the one that adapts best to the environment. And they're the ones that survive. So if you're not adapting to this new way, and I'm not talking about the new normal that they've created, this bullshit, which is part of the dark period we're going to go through before the light. It's like I'm talking about adapting to your true and your spiritual self. If you don't start to realize this, then, you know, you and your family will eventually perish out, because this is what's happening. We are going through a mass awakening. This is the age of Aquarius. And, you know, the people that refuse to awaken and start to listen to their inner light, rather than the matrix which has created their mind, you must follow the orders of the governmente mind, govern your mind, follow the orders of the government, or follow your inner light, your inner tuition, which is God, the creator, the infinite mind, the creator of all things. So like, you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to get at with this. So it's like, yeah, we're at a crucial point of humanity, and it's literally about survival of the fittest, and that survival is adaptation to a higher consciousness. Anyway, I just thought I'd drop that. Peace!